From drones to fresh faces, rivalries to romance, here's everything we know about whether or not there will be a Top Gun 3. In 2022, the franchise soared to new heights. The highly anticipated sequel was a smash hit, thrilling fans with its high-flying action along with nostalgic throwbacks. So it's no wonder people want another film. Let's dive right in, shall we? First up, let's look at the film's success. Top Gun Maverick raked in big bucks at the box office, proving that fans were still hungry for more high-octane aerial action. They flocked to theaters to see Tom Cruise back in the cockpit as Peter Maverick Mitchell, which resulted in box office figures of $1.493 billion against a budget of a mere $177 million. Geez, that's what I call a success. But is that enough to guarantee a third high-flying adventure? Well, don't ask Tom Cruise. Mr. Daredevil himself keeps playing it cool about Top Gun 3. But with his history of sequels, like the Mission Impossible series, we wouldn't be surprised if he took flight again. Now, what about the director, Joseph Kosinski? Unfortunately, it's not clear either, as he's keeping it pretty coy too. But given Maverick's incredible success, we'll bet he's itching to jump back into the danger zone. And then there's the star-studded cast to look at. You've got the iconic Miles Teller as Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, the legendary Jennifer Connelly as Penny Benjamin, and the delightful John Hamm as Cyclone. They're all game for another ride. In fact, Teller has expressed major excitement for a possible third film. He's even been pushing for a sequel and said he wants it to be about his character. Apparently, he wants it to be called Top Gun Rooster. He's allegedly still in talks with Paramount about it. That sounds like one kick-ass film. But wait, we can't forget the renowned producer Jerry Bruckheimer. He's the driving force behind Top Gun, and he has a penchant for hit sequels. So chances are that he's definitely on board for some more intense, high-flying action. However, let's not overlook the loyal fan base. They've stuck by the franchise for over 3 decades. With Maverick's incredible reception, there's no doubt they'll be eagerly awaiting another chapter of this story. Alright, now buckle up, because we're about to explore potential plotlines for Top Gun 3. Just remember, we're talking about the skies, the limits, and the endless possibilities. First up, we've got drone warfare knocking on the door. Will our high-flying heroes like Maverick have to adapt to these new tech challenges? Well, during Top Gun Maverick, we did see Admiral Kane hint at this potential storyline. He talked about replacing human pilots with a fleet of drones. That's going to have a huge effect on the story. We can't wait to see how the crew tackles AI-controlled aircraft during some nail-biting aerial battles. Maybe we'll see Maverick and the rest of his crew trying to show that humans are better than drones. Now, that'd be a pretty topical discussion for today's world. Next, let's talk about fresh blood. Yep, we're looking at the next generation of hotshot pilots. With Rooster's story in Maverick, we've seen a glimpse of young guns ready to soar. Although that leaves one question that needs answering. What does that mean for Top Gun 3? The answer to that is quite simple. Introduce some new faces. They'll be eager to learn from legends like Maverick, while at the same time bringing their own unique skills to the table. But that's not all. For Top Gun Maverick, there was a notable lack of many iconic crew members from the original film. So what does that mean for Top Gun 3? A reunion, of course. What better way to show that humans are better than machines than to have the whole original Top Gun crew return for the third movie? Sadly, there's one thing we know for sure won't happen, and that's Maverick and Iceman reigniting their competitive spark. In Top Gun Maverick, we saw Val Kilmer return as Iceman. However, his character died during this movie, so there's no chance of Top Gun 3 exploring this classic rivalry, which means that there'll be a new villain to face in this movie. But hey, what about some international intrigue? Top Gun 3 could take our pilots on a globe-trotting adventure by putting their skills to the test with some high-stakes missions across the world. We don't know where these missions could take place, but the possibilities sure are exciting. However, let's not forget that there's a heart and soul to Top Gun, which all come in the form of relationships. If it's true that the next film is called Top Gun Rooster, then maybe the film will dive deeper into Maverick and Rooster's bond. It could explore ideas of mentorship, loyalty, and friendship, all within a high-pressure world. Of course, we can't ignore the huge elephant in the room. Will there be romance in Top Gun 3? In Maverick, we saw Jennifer Connelly's character, Penny Benjamin, make an appearance. Sadly, Maverick and Penny were mostly friends, although they did have a secret date together. So perhaps for the next installment, there's a chance for some heart-fluttering, and pulse racing romance. Maybe we'll see them finally get together properly instead of the will they won't they storyline of Maverick. Next up, it's time to talk about interviews. The cast, director, and producers have all given us juicy tidbits about the movie, starting with the man himself, Tom Cruise. As we already mentioned, Cruise has been pretty coy about another Top Gun movie. However, that didn't stop the crew members from talking about it. More specifically, producer Jerry Bruckheimer discussed Top Gun 3 and what could cause a delay. In particular, he said the biggest delay is Cruise's hectic schedule. According to Bruckheimer, Cruise is currently shooting another Mission Impossible movie, which requires a lot of time for the challenging stunts. So, Bruckheimer says they don't want to take any attention away from completing this important work. Talk about a nice guy. But with Bruckheimer's track record for producing high-octane action flicks, we wouldn't be surprised if he's secretly cooking up something exciting for Top Gun 3. Then there's Miles Teller, or should I say Rooster. He's been a little clearer than Cruise. In fact, he's been quoted as saying that if audiences respond well to Maverick, he's open to a sequel. With Maverick's overwhelming success, we're betting that he's more than ready to jump back into the cockpit. Let's not forget about Maverick's director Joseph Kosinski. Like Cruise, he's been tight-lipped about Top Gun 3, but with his work on Tron Legacy and Oblivion, we know he's definitely got the chops to take us on another visually stunning ride through the skies. Let's shift our focus to some other key players. The writers. Christopher McQuarrie penned the script for Maverick, and he's got quite a history of working with Tom Cruise on multiple projects. This includes the Mission Impossible series. Could this dynamic duo team up again for Top Gun 3? We sure hope so. Then there's Aaron Kruger and Eric Warren Singer, who also worked on the Maverick script. These guys have some powerful writing skills, so we'd love to see them bring their talents back for a third Top Gun film. That's everything we can expect to see in Top Gun 3. However, there are also some other buzzworthy inclusions. Here's what fans are dying to see in the next film. The first one is a wish list item that's been on every Top Gun fan's mind. More adrenaline-pumping aerial stunts. We're talking wilder, crazier, and more heart-stopping dogfights than ever before. Just imagine the G-forces we'll feel as we're white-knuckling our way through the movie theater. But hold up, we can't forget about the soundtrack. Both the original Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick had iconic tunes that got our pulses racing and our feet tapping. So, for Top Gun 3, we're expecting nothing less than another chart-topping soundtrack with killer tracks that'll have us singing in the aisles. And most importantly, fans want to see the camaraderie, the loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between the Top Gun pilots. After all, they're what made us fall in love with the original movie and kept us hooked on Maverick. So, bring on the bromance, the banter, and the brotherhood for Top Gun 3. So, what's the verdict on Top Gun 3? While no official announcement has been made, all signs point to another thrilling adventure in the skies. From the cast and crew's enthusiasm and this wish list of fan desires, plus Maverick's sky-high success, it's looking pretty likely we'll be back in the cockpit soon enough for Top Gun 3.